this live going. Pre-race show, predictions, expectations, a little bit of news, a little bit of a bump for Lewis Hamilton due to some situations. But as we saw yesterday, I think probably most of us might agree that if things were to continue as they were, undisturbed by the yellow flag brought out by George Russell, as you can see here in this photo, George Russell wrecks the Mercedes. I would also like to say that I think George Russell wrecking the Mercedes and seeing some of the characteristics that we did see during the prior or previous events, where one, we saw Lewis Hamilton spin off track, maybe took too much of a curve, maybe suspension setup just not quite there. Russell also making note or mention to his team that he experienced something similar. Didn't quite go off track then, but did a bit later on, I believe. And then final qualifying session right here. A big shout out, Incredible Fat Quest. Good morning to you. Seeing Russell wreck the car. So I am not already, as well as we talked about with the very funny business looking when Hamilton leads in previous events and then falls off. I think there's a bigger component here where I'm not quite sure Mercedes has the car set up correct for COTA in its variation right now. So with that being said, Mercedes is going to be Darker Spawn. Big shout out to you. Good morning. Mercedes is going to be compromised to me. All right. And we'll look at that. Also, Ferrari, in my opinion, need to. Dave Quattro, fam on the blue label. What's going on? Ferrari, in my opinion, right now, need to grab a race win. This, although I know we can't technically call Ferrari mid-pack or mid-tier, they're mid right now. They're up and down. Nothing's really consistent. There's a lot of hope and expectations of Ferrari. And I do not think Ferrari has lived up to those expectations thus far. Big shout out, Mary Beanie. Good morning to you. I don't think they've lived up to those expectations thus far. I think Ferrari have fallen short this season on their targets. I think that a lot of people probably are not lost, but maybe are questioning the decision of keeping Charles Leclerc and then not Sainz. But we'll see as it goes forward. And then I'm going to get into where I think these drivers may finish top 10, bottom 10. And then I think we're looking to see, can Piastri get a bit stronger? What happens with Piastri on this side, Norris on that side? So let's go ahead and look at the pole position right now as it sits, what we should see today, minus any other penalties that might be handed out, whether something's changed or something weird happens. But as it sits right now, we are looking at this. This is what we're looking into. All right. And Lewis Hamilton gets a slight bit of a bump. Lewis gets a bump because because Liam takes a power unit. Joe really wasn't ever a factor. So he's going to bump up from 19 to 18. That's one spot. One spot it means something, but it's not a lot. Still, Hamilton has quite a bit of work to be cut out for him. And I'm not sure. I thought maybe they would have taken a different power unit, but even if they did that, I'm not sure that a new power unit helps Hamilton the way that maybe people would expect it to help him. Like, he's not going to blaze through the field and take first place win. If that happened, that would be phenomenally great. Great story and all the other good stuff, but I just don't think it's realistic to even think that right now. But maybe he gets through what already he's probably going to get through today a bit sooner. I think once Hamilton hits, especially Russell, depending on where he finishes, because I'm not sure if Russell wrecks out again, but I think once Hamilton hits that 6th, 5th position, I think he's already going to run into some problems there. I think that's where likely Lewis Hamilton may get, and then he just kind of stays there. not because Lewis himself doesn't have the ability to do more. I just don't think the Mercedes car is there for them to really do more as strong as that. There was a surge at one part of the season a few races ago. I think that surge has tapered off in response because other teams have developed and things are going on. And I think that's just where it finished. So it's quite possible by the end of COTA, and I know this right here might be up there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and write these down. I want you to write down your picks too. I want you to write down where you think things may land to. All right. So let's just go ahead and say I'm pretty sure Joe. I'm gonna have Joe at 20th. I'm gonna have Joe at 20. I think Liam Lawson gets by Joe. I think he gets by Valtteri. I think Kick Sauber, Phil, 19 and 20. All right. So 19, 20 through 19 is Kick Sauber. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. There's no reason in separating their names. I'm going to say 20 through 19 is Kick Sauber. I don't think Liam Lawson is I don't think Joe is extraordinarily a better driver than Liam. And I also know Liam Lawson's in the better car. So I definitely think Valtteri and Joe continue to do what they've been doing throughout this season. And they end up being transparent, very visible to the rest of the grid. And I think they're going to feel 20 and 19, unless there's a DNF, which always there could be a DNF. So bar DNF is what we're doing right now. When it comes to the other drivers, let's say we still got 18, 17 to fill. I do think that at some point in time, and oddly enough, I don't think Haas is going to be there, but I do think next to kind of fill that area, I'm going to have to go probably likely Ocon, K-Mag. Ocon, K-Mag. I just have a bit more hope in Hulk, so I'm going to hold off on Hulk. So I think Ocon, K-Mag. I can't even do K-Mag like that, really, honestly. I don't think I could do K-Mag like that, but no, Ocon like that. But I'm kind of wondering where Ocon's head is, where he might be. So I think Ocon, sad to say, maybe we see Ocon and K-Mag fill that 18 to 17. So Ocon and K-Mag. And then let's go 16 to 15. I think you can just go ahead and put, I don't want to see the Argentina driver do any worse than that. But I don't know if Gasly's going to hold on to that 7th place. I think Hulkenberg could possibly do better. I'm pretty sure Perez is going to do better. I know Alonso's going to do better. So I do see Gasly falling a bit. And I honestly think Alex Albon and Colapinto can come up some. I don't think Gasly is up there. So I'm going to go ahead and slide Gasly. I think I'm going to go ahead and slide Gasly down. I think I'm going to slide Gasly down with Colapinto to that 16-15. 16-15, I'm going to go with Colapinto and Gasly. All right, so that means I have Alpine in the bottom section right there. Then next, we're going to come up to 14 and 13. And I do think Lance Stroll will be there. I do think Lance Stroll is going to be there. All right, I still got Liam Lawson. And I still got a little bit of Liam I'm not willing to put Liam Lawson in that bottom section. I think Liam Lawson hopefully can do a better job here. I know he's just coming back, and I probably got a little bit more hope than I should have for Liam. But I'm going to say giving him a fresh power unit elements. Maybe there's a possibility that Liam Lawson climb up, and I think we've seen Liam do a bit better job when he did fill in at one point in time for Danny Rick. Now he's permanently in that seat. So I will say that I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead 13 and 14. I think I will take Gasly. Gasly's already at 15. 13 and 14. I'm gonna go ahead and slide Albon into 13. And maybe I'll go ahead and keep Hulk at 14. Although it's possible Hulk can do his thing, but I just don't have a lot of hope in these Haas cars. I just don't. That's just my opinion. I don't. All right. So now we're getting ready to crack into that top 10, to that 10 spot. And so when it comes to that, I still think Lewis Hamilton from 18, I think that's a bit too low. I think he does creep into the points. I think he does work his way up. I'm pretty sure that Hamilton is good to you all for a good 1 to 2 spots off the start. I think he's going to go ahead. He's going to clear Valtteri. He's going to clear Colapinto. He's going to clear Alex Albon. He's going to clear Stroll. So, but Stroll, I think Stroll should be able to do a bit better job. But Stroll, I'm probably putting a little bit too much hope in Stroll, but I'm thinking that this Aston Martin should at least compensate for his lack of ability. So when it comes to 12 and 11, 12 and 11, I'm going to go Stroll. I'm going to go ahead and go Stroll, and I'm going to go Stroll and Yuki. I'll go Stroll and Yuki. And then right after that, 10, 9. Nah, forget that. I can't go. I got to go Lawson. I'm going to go Stroll and Lawson. I'm going to go Yuki. I want to see Yuki in points. I don't know about y'all, but I want to see Yuki in points. I do want to see Yuki in points. So I'm going to go with Yuki. We're going 10, 9 now. I'm going to go with Yuki. And I'm going to go with Yuki and Alonso. I'm going to go with Yuki and Alonso there. So now we're at 8 and 7. All right, 8 and 7. And I don't know what you all are feeling, but if we look at I don't know, let's look at this real quick. Let's check these time sheets out real quick. Let's get rid of this. Look at what kind of happened yesterday. I'm thinking, I don't think Gasly is going to finish there. I think that is strictly unqualifying. I don't think Gasly hangs there. I think Gasly falls back. Alpine, to me, is just not on the level, but I could be wrong. And that's what prediction's all about. It's not being right. It's having a good time trying to see where you think really they might land. It's kind of like a game any damn way. Don't forget, we're also going to be spinning for that car today. But if we're going to go 8 and 7, then I am going to go with Perez. I'm going to go with Perez and Hamilton. I'm going to go with Perez and Hamilton 8 and 7. 6 to 5. I'm going to go ahead and go with Russell. 6 to 5. Hamilton 8 to 7. I think Russell right. I'm going to slide him 6. I don't think Russell's going to move much. I think we've seen that before. Russell kind of hangs in that spot. I think this is a very hard place for Mercedes to do anything with Ferrari, with McLaren, place where Orlando is, with Max Verstappen. So I don't know. And I'm not saying, it's quite possible maybe Hamilton gets around Russell and makes some things happen, but we've seen Russell before. There's not going to be a conceding immediately. Russell's going to compete as hard as he can, even against Lewis Hamilton, sometime to a fault. I don't think he lets him by. Lewis is definitely going to have to earn that spot, overtake Russell. Don't ask for team orders to make it happen. And I'm not sure it's going to happen with these Mercedes cars or what may take place. Plus, Lewis tends to err on the side of caution, especially when it's against a teammate. And then there's not a lot of big bad blood between he and Russell, like we could say Alonso and other drivers. So I'm going to say that Russell probably holds on to this 6th position throughout the race. And that also would depend on strategy, because Mercedes has done a horrible job strategy-wise. So I'm going to go with Russell And honestly, Charles, I'm gonna go with Russell and Leclerc. That's what I'm gonna go with. Russell and Leclerc. And then we come up to 4 and third. I'm going to think I think Oscar can progress. I think Oscar can move up. I know it hasn't been the best for him in these past couple events this weekend, but I do think Oscar can move up. He's 7th. I'm going to go ahead and go with Oscar and Sainz at 4 and 3. And then 2 and 1, I'm going to go ahead and go, man, 2 and 1. It's really about, can Lando hold on to the lead in the first turn, which he's lost plenty of times for nobody to believe in him. He's given it up to Max plenty of time, but over the course of laps, we've seen if Lando's close, that McLaren is fast and he can get past Max Verstappen. But this entire weekend, even post this debacle situation, Red Bull seems to be pretty fast here. Ooh. And Red Bull's good at pit stops, but so is McLaren. You know what? I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that, yo. I think I'm going to change that. I think I'm going to move this up. I think I'm going to. Nah, I'm not going to change it that much. I can't discount Max that much. Even as a driver, even though I don't like Max as a person and his character, I can't discount him as a driver that much. But I don't want to count out Oscar Piastri because we've seen that man on the hunt. Yo, I'm sliding Max. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. Max seems pretty strong here, man. He seems pretty damn strong here. Perez is. What was Max's time? How much time did he have over that when they did the qualifying? Let's check that out. Let me look at that. Let me just check that out real quick. What are we talking about time difference here? Max Verstappen. That ain't nothing. Yeah, I can't discount Max that much. Even if I mean, this is not anything as far as personal. I can't discount Max that much. I think I kind of got to stick with what I got. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with Lando. I think I'm going to stick with Max second, Lando first. Lando first. So that's where I am. That's where I am. Maybe some changing in between these, which is why I kind of put them in a bracket of 2-1, 4-3. But that's where I am right now. I think that the USGP finishes with Lando first, Max second, Sainz third, and Oscar 4 and 3. In 5 and 6, I got Russell and Leclerc. In 7, 8, I got Perez and Hamilton. In 9 and 10, I have Yuki Alonso. In 12, 11, I have Lawson and Stroll. 13, 14, I have Albon and Hulk. 15, 16, I got Colapinto and Gasly. 18, 17, I got Ocon and K-Mag. And I have Kick Sauber taking up the rear of the train as the caboose, regardless of where either of them finish. That's what I got. Those are my predictions for this race. That's what I have. And I'm gonna keep these and see. And like I said, I'm cool if I'm completely wrong. I'm cool with that. Like I said, I put them in 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, either interchangeable, but we'll see how many. I'll write this list down a bit better. Maybe I'll even do a compare and contrast as far as where it is, where I think, and then where they actually finish. So I will go ahead and write this list down a bit better so it is completely unforgettable to me and legible when we get down to it. Let me know in the comment section what you all think about the finishing order, how you think things are going to go, and how you think these things may play out. And we'll see what happens. But those are my predictions for the USGP later today. We will be live Also, do not forget we will be spinning for this giveaway. Somebody is going to win this Lewis Hamilton collector's item Gem Mint 10 PSA graded card, Topps Chrome, Driver of the Day, Silverstone Home GP. Somebody's going to win that. The wheel is already loaded. Other people that have been doing and are doing super chats now since the beginning of this weekend are putting their names in the hats for this Gem Mint 10 Lewis Hamilton collector's item. So all super chats today, yesterday, Friday, going forward for the next few events, your name is going in for these. All right. So don't forget about that. Somebody's going to get this today. We will spin for it today doing a live for the race event. So be here. Don't be squared. Don't forget about it. We're going to have a good time. Join us for that. And with that being said, of course, you already know, I want you all to enjoy life. Be happy. I will see you for the USGP. Wolfpack out. Peace.